Everybody, normal video today because well, I have been up for a couple of hours, and you guys know I have a fucked up sleep schedule, so I have not slept in a bit, meaning like a day, which is pretty normal. I go through like phases of where I stay up for like 24, 26, 27 hours, or like even 30 hours, and then I sleep for like the entire day, and then it goes back and forth. But today I actually had some plans, and that's why I kind of stayed up instead of actually going to bed. And so if you guys didn't know, I'm a big fan of D&D, and so I was doing a campaign with some friends, and we're deep in the campaign, and I'm loving it. But one of them is going to one of the fucking players are going to like Australia, and I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna do in Australia? But you know what? They're making moves and I'm not. They're making moves going down under. And I'm staying where the fuck I am, okay? And so I can't hate on that. And so I was like, maybe we can do it over Zoom, but we just never know. But anyways, today is gonna be a little bit more of like, chiller video. I'm not gonna be, over the top fucking hucking shit and, cussing at you and calling your mom a fucking whore, because that's not who I am as a person. I think I'm better than that, which is not true, but I like to think I am. And that's kind of, it comes back to the main topic of this video, which I kind of thought about. I feel like I've kind of overstated, like I've talked about this topic so much to the point where it's almost redundant, but at the same time it's something that I think is very prevalent in my mind, because the things that I see online and the things I see in my life, I'm just kind of like, I like to throw my 2 cents in it, because I feel like I definitely had a high school experience, but I'm not sure if it's something that's relatable. And so I would like to speak my experience, give my advice, and hope that, nobody takes it too seriously, because I'm not a fucking board certified like psychologist by any means. I'm not anybody that is qualified to be giving life advice. And by the way, I don't think life coaches are like, can you like get a PhD or like a degree in that? I don't know. I think it's something that people do as a hobby and then turn into a job, which I'm kind of like, I don't give a fuck, because I don't need them. But if you find pleasure in them, then I don't give a fuck. But anyways, so consider me your life coach that has no qualifications other than, being alive and can't talk. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And so we're gonna do a little cozy. I'm holding my pillow because I feel like I need to like ground myself or something. I feel like if I don't hold something, I'm gonna like fly off into outer space and find NASA's little like rover thing that's going up into outer space and just scanning all the planets. As you can tell, I'm still really I've still been thinking about like the exoplanets and like how big our universe is, and like what that little dude up in space is doing right now. I'm just wondering like what's it feeling when it's like flying up in space, thinking about, gamma rays and whatnot. I don't know what the fuck it's doing up there, but it's doing something, and I hope it comes home. But it's probably not. It's just gonna be a hunk of metal by the time it's done, but you know. But anyways, I came on here because I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about my high school experience and how I was able to deal with it without, well, I didn't really deal with it as well as I probably should, but I'll try to explain it, okay? I basically graduated high school like with fairly good grades. I think I was like top something, I don't know, like top 50 in my class or something. Nah. Well, I don't want to brag, okay, but I was high up in my grades or whatever the fuck. It was mainly because, well, I'm Asian, for one. If you guys couldn't tell, the roots probably deceive you, because I'm such a natural fucking blonde that people forget that I am indeed Asian. I feel like my monolids could tell you that, but and so I had fairly good grades, and a lot of teachers liked me, and I didn't really have any beef with people at school, I would say. I mean, if I wasn't like, waking up at 8 in the morning fighting people, like going into school, and next thing you know, my head is bashed into a fucking locker kind of beef. But, I had like disagreements with people, and people I didn't like, and people who didn't like me. But at the end of the day, it wasn't anything that was too personal, to the point where I would go to their fucking house and, fucking rip out the flowers in their garden and shit on their fucking porch. And I would say that, I had teachers that liked me because I was kind of a suck up, but not really. I was one of those kids that, I mean, it kind of fluctuated. If I liked the class, then I would speak in it. But if I didn't feel the class, then I really wouldn't do anything in it. Like my math classes, I just didn't really give my all in them, even though I did get good grades. I just kind of did what I had to do. It wasn't like I liked math. I did it because I had to, but it wasn't like something I was passionate about. So, but regardless, I got good grades in that. But the thing that I was passionate about was like, being a yapper and speaking a lot. And so whenever we would have like Socratic seminars, like the teachers would always tell me to shut up. And I think I mentioned the other day that in my Japanese class, I took Japanese 1 and Japanese 2. I didn't do Japanese 3 because I'm stupid and I can't understand kanji. But I can read katakana. I can read a little bit of hiragana, but katakana is easier because this is romanized bullshit. But anyways, I took was it 2 semesters or 2 years? I can't remember. It was either one of those, but I took essentially 2 classes of Japanese, and my senseis fucking hated me. Well, I think they hated me, but I think they liked me deep down. It's kind of a thing where I would talk a lot in their classes, to the point where they would segregate me to different tables because I would talk too much at the people. Like, any table they would sit me at, I would just talk for no reason, and they would have to segregate me to a different table. And they would always, I remember my teacher would always fucking, she was a nice teacher, but she would always be like, Quinn, shut the fuck up. In like Japanese, she would be like something in Japanese. I don't remember what it was, but my Japanese name in that class was Asuka. And so every time I heard the name Asuka, I was like, I did something wrong. Yeah. But it wasn't the fact that, well, I don't think it was the fact that I was like trying to intentionally ruin class. I think I was just not bored, but I think I just wanted to be entertained, and so I just talked to people around me. But I don't consider myself an extrovert, despite, you know, always being typed as like an ENTP. I don't really consider myself an extrovert, but when I am around people, I like to talk because I'm bored. But when I'm alone, I don't feel the need to be around people, and so that's why I consider myself not as an extrovert, because if I'm alone, I don't really want to be surrounded by people. But if I am around people, then, you know, I might as well just say fuck and, you know, talk to them, because what else am I gonna do? Fucking pick my butt? No, I'm just gonna talk to people because I'm fucking normal, you know? And so I'll just be in those classes bored as fuck, and then I'll just talk to people. And if they're not feeling me, then they're not feeling me. You know, I can read a room, and if someone's like, okay, I don't want to fucking talk to you, let me pop in my earbuds and listen to, I don't know. What was popular back then? I feel so old. I don't know, like XXXTentacion or some shit like that. And I'll be like, okay, whatever the fuck. And I'll just mind my own business, and then, you know, I'll just, you know, do my assignments or something. I don't know. And I think that the main way that I think that a lot of people kind of overstress the idea of high school and think that high school is this big whatever the fuck. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of the people that I talk to, and especially me as well, don't really remember high school. They don't really care about high school. They don't think about high school unless, you know, they're around people that are in high school, and then they'll reminisce. And every now and then, you know, experience comes up. It's like, oh, I had that class in high school or something like that. But they don't, you know, hone on in it. Like, they don't hold it on within their chest and be like, oh my God, I want to go back to high school so bad. I don't think I've ever met anybody in my life that was like, I love high school so freaking much, I want to go back and I want to relive it or whatever the fuck. Because let's be honest here, like, we were not happy in high school. And it's not because high school was that bad. It wasn't like this. Well, it kind of is, because the schooling system already is like fucked as it is, and teachers should be obviously paid more. But at the same time, we were going through all these hormones, and there was so much unnecessary drama that could have been easily avoided, at least in my mind back in the day, that could have been easily avoided. But, you know, people like to blow it up. And I'll be honest with you, I like drama, and I'm someone who kind of likes to gossip. Not kind of, I do. I really do. I really do like to gossip. It's like, I think it's pathological at this point. Because every time I hear a little bit of gossip, I just have to like put my ear to the fucking door with a little cup and just have to like eavesdrop, because I'm just that nosy. I don't know why I am. I just am. But I think it's just something that I just do because I'm bored. A lot of times I'm bored and I just can't help it, you know? And so I talk to people because I find myself being bored. And so that's why I think that, and that's why I've deduced over, you know, the course of whatever the fuck, that high school is not that important. Okay, I need to stress this as much. Like, if you're going into high school and if you're, you know, graduating to your sophomore, junior, senior year, like, honest to God, I don't know how to like say this other than like, don't take it too hard. Like, don't take it too seriously. Like, take it seriously, but at the same time, like, be cool about it. Like, it's, at the end of the day, your GPA only matters when it gets you into the college you want to be in, okay? But if you are going to be like me, who, you know, is like top of her fucking class, like top of, I don't know, I was like, I don't want to say top 50 because I don't believe that, but I feel like I was. But at the same time, I could be lying to you guys. But I'm not going to dig up my fucking transcript because that's kind of personal. But I'll, you know what, if I remember, I'll put it in the comment or like the caption or whatever if I remember my fucking class rank. But it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. That's how irrelevant it is to me, because I don't remember what fucking rank I was. Like, it mattered to me back in the day because I was like, oh wow, like I did that. And it's really good to, you know, be on the top of your fucking class, but at the same time, it's like, What does that matter? Like, what does that do in the long run? Whenever I'm talking to people in real life, it's not like I'm gonna brag about my fucking class rank, because what the fuck is that gotta do? They don't know who was in my class. They don't know what competition I was against. They don't know, if I literally was like a fly on a piece of shit. You don't know. Like, I could easily have been like, a mediocre student in a class full of fucking idiots. And it's like, well, of course I got fucking, high ranks, because the people around me did not have the resources like I did. They didn't have tutoring. They didn't have, fucking whatever the fuck. They didn't have the same shit that I did, And so I don't want to use my class rank as like a superiority thing, because at the end of the day, it's not like I use it to brag anymore, because I only used it as like an essay thing, or I used it to make myself look good during college admissions. But other than that, I don't really care about what it is. And same with my GPA. Like, I'll use my GPA like every now and then to put on my resume. But then at the end of the day, what does that say about me? Like, anybody can get a 4.0. Not anybody, but like, when you're doing graphic design, it's not fucking hard. Like, I'm not saying that to demean the subject itself, but it's not fucking hard. All you gotta do is put your mind to it, bro. Like, it's not like you're out here fucking finding out the root of not evil, but like a root of fucking, I don't know, something math related. I'm not doing anything that's like calculus. I'm not doing anything that's algebraic. I'm not even doing anything that's really meaningful. I'm just fucking making pretty things in Photoshop at the end. But like, I'm putting effort into it, and that's why I think that the only thing that you really have to do in high school is just put in effort. That's all you gotta fucking do. Like, you don't gotta do buck all else, bro. Like, you don't have to, like, go above effort. You don't have to fucking join all these clubs. I got into college without joining any clubs. I didn't do any extracurriculars. I didn't do any volunteering. I didn't do any of that fucking bullshit. I didn't do any of that. I sent in my SATs, and that's not SAT. Is it ACTs or SATs for Minnesota? I don't remember. But I sent in that thing, and it was like low. Okay, the only redeeming thing was about it was my English and like my writing or whatever the fuck. But my math was like bottom, and I still put that in there, and they still accepted me. And I was like, okay, like, so you really wanted me that badly. And I'm just saying, like, I am not like a star student. Like, I dicked around, but like, I still got good grades, because at the end of the day, if you're applying to a college, that's the only thing that really matters. Like, you want to get your numbers up so you can look good to a college, but once you're in. Who gives a fuck? Like, if you graduate, like, you could literally graduate with the same people that walked with like a 2.0 GPA. I don't know, like the minimum requirement of a GPA to like graduate, and so no employer is gonna be like, oh, so how did she do in this class, and that, like, don't give a fuck about that. I'll be honest with you, as someone who is very academically like an academic perfectionist, I think that really burned me out, and it like led to a point where when I was in my senior year of high school, and that was when COVID was going, and so I had online school, I kind of lost that motivation, because I didn't have that drive, because a lot of things I did was kind of out of spite. I do a lot of things out of spite. A lot of the things I do, okay, are out of spite or out of boredom. And I don't know what that says about me, but I think that a lot of people do that too, because from what I hear from like, I don't want to say trigger warning, but like from a lot of things I hear from like people who have, survived suicide or survived, thoughts of ending their lives or whatever the fuck, they live in order to spite someone. They live in order to spite that grandma who said that they can't do shit. They lived in spite of their fucking dad, doing whatever the fuck they did to them. And same with like, people who lose like a massive amount of weight or like go through a massive transformation. Some of them do it out of spite, because that's the thing that motivates them. And so that's what I did. I did a lot of things out of spite. I wanted to do it because, well, I don't really have anyone to really spite, but I think I wanted it to do the spite me. I'm like, well, I think, wait, let me see how I can phrase this without sound like a fucking nut job. Okay, I was doing it out of spite, like for me, because I knew that I didn't really want to do the thing, but I did it anyways. I was like doing it to spite myself almost. And I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but in a way, I was like, I knew that I could do better, and so I did better. I knew that I had the ability to do better, and so I did better. And that's why I did what I did. But at the same time, there's days where you don't have to do better. You don't have to do your best. And so a lot of the things I did in high school don't really matter. Like the slideshows that I did, the essays that I wrote, the group projects that I did. I don't remember any of them. I'll be honest, I remember like one or two of them, because you got to remember something. If I didn't remember anything, then goddamn, bro, you got to admit me to like hospice, because I might be sick in the head, or I might be having like retrograde amnesia or some shit like that, okay? But I do remember some of it, but it's not even the ones that I did good on. It's the ones that were memorable to me, because I had fun with the project. I had fun with the peers around me. I had fun interacting with people, and I had fun, researching the thing. But a lot of the times it's not really that important. And so I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, like high school is like not even that important, bro. Like it doesn't matter. But at the same time, it's like it does matter. It does matter. Like if you want to go into MIT, if you want to, go into, I don't know, fucking Harvard. I don't know. I don't have those big of aspirations, like with my grades, I barely probably got into the U, let's be honest. Okay. But anyways, like if you want better for yourself, then do better. That's all I gotta say. Like, but if you are content with going to community college, which I'm not like demeaning by any means, because I went to community college and I think community college is an amazing opportunity because you're not fucking being overcharged. Well, you are, but not to the degree that universities are doing. Okay, and so I believe that community college is beneficial if that is a route that you want to take. If that is your better, then do that. Okay, but if you believe that your better is a university, if you believe that your better is, I don't know, a private, like anything, right? If you believe that your better is one of those Ivy League schools, then do that. But if your better is just trade school, if your better is just being a stay-at-home mom, if your better is just being a self-entrepreneur, then do that. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I remember so many of my fucking peers being like, oh, like, I want to do this, I want to do that, and whatever the fuck. And, like, I didn't give a fuck because I'm like, well, what's it got to do with me? Honest to God. Like, and like people are always like, oh, did you hear that they want to go there and like this and that? I'm just like, well, why the fuck do you care? Like, why the fuck would you care if they do this and that? Like, why the fuck would you care if they want to go to MIT? Are you competing with them? Do you have the same skill set as them? Then fucking mind your own business. And they would always talk down and whatever the fuck. And I'm just like, man, I don't give a fuck. And so I think that if you're better, like I said, right, if you're better is what you're doing right now, and if you think that's what, and if within your heart that's what you want, then do it. Okay, because for me, I knew that my better was just a university. I knew I couldn't get into a Ivy League school because I know my limits as a person. Like there's only so much water my fucking brain cup can hold before it just okay. And so I know that Ivy League schools are not meant for me because I'm not built like that, but some motherfuckers are built like that. And that's why we have so many motherfuckers going to, fucking Brown. I don't know what the Ivy League schools. This is how you know that I'm not really invested in this shit. But like other people, they know what they want to do. They're like, oh shit, like when I grow up, I want to be an electrician. I want to be a plumber. I want to be a welder. I want to be this and that. And they know what they want to do. And so that's their better, and that's what they choose to do. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's bad that they don't want to pursue further, like higher education, because it's expensive, it's tedious, it's fucking mind numbing. It's like I kind of I don't want to say I feel jealous, but at the same time I do see like upsides to both sides. I see upsides to like, oh, I don't have to do education, I just get into the workforce and I'm actually using my skill to help other people. Whereas with higher education, you're kind of delaying that effect. You're delaying that effect of like, let me get this education first, then I can help people. With like trade school, you only get like what, like 2 years of like training or whatever the fuck, and then you go right in and you start helping people. But with higher education stuff like psychology and not CS, like mostly just like hospital stuff, you have to go into like residency and stuff like that before you actually like get to practice the thing that you want to do. And so there's a lot of more effort, but I don't know if it actually pays off in the end, because I don't want to be a doctor, I don't want to be any of that. And I think that my parents wanted more for me, but I'm just like, well, you want more for me, but I know what I want to do. And the thing that I want to do is just to be okay. I just want to be okay. And so the thing that I did was I just went to college because that's what I wanted to do, right? I knew I wanted to go to college of some sort. I knew that since I put so much effort into high school, the least I can do is, go to college and do something with my effort that I, the spiteful effortness that I put back in the day. And so I went to college, and, sometimes it's good to listen to your parents, because my mom was like, maybe apply for graphic design because you're good at art and I hear it makes like okay money. And I'm like, okay. Because I wasn't really feeling psychology at that time, because I realized that field is so oversaturated. And I realized that is not my better. I don't think that I can fit. Well, I know. Okay, because I can take as many intro to psychology courses as I possibly can, but at the end of the day, it's not something that I know that I can do, because I know my limits as a person, and that's something you have to learn. Okay, know your limits as a person, and my limits as a person is science, anatomy. The second I had to learn anything but the brain, whatever the fuck the hemoglobin is, or okay, I don't remember jack shit. But the second I had to learn about that, and there's so much effort that has to go into it. And I feel like if that is your better, if that's something you're passionate about, if that's something that you believe that you can do, that you are able to sustain for the long term, then do that. But for me, I knew that that was not something I could sustain. I even toyed with the idea of journalism, but deep down, though, I'm not really built for that. Like, the majority of the time, I can't even fucking get 2 words out without fucking saying fuck, you know, or saying like, or saying literally, or saying I don't know. So what the fuck? Like, I can write in my own time and be my own journalist, but that's not something I want to pursue, because I don't want to be I don't want to be in front of the fucking camera. I don't want to write articles about, you know, fucking moms dying and dogs, you know, kicking butt, and like, I don't know, Iraq fucking, you know, licking the shit out of, I don't know, oil. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Essentially, I knew that's not something I wanted to. So I went into graphic design, and that was when it kind of clicked for me. I was like, oh, like, this is my better. Like, this is what I'm passionate about. Like, this is something I know I can do. This is something that I'm passionate about. And so that's what the fuck I'm doing. That's what the fuck I'm doing right now. And I feel really like, I feel like you have to experience it to understand it. Like, the second you do something that you are not only good at, but you're passionate about, and you want to learn more about it, and you're like constantly consumed by it, then you'll understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, people who do sports, the second they do it, it just clicks, and they just want to do it for the rest of their life, because they become so obsessed with everything about it. They become obsessed with like the, like, I don't know, positions. They become obsessed with, you know, how to become a better like runner or something like that. They become obsessed with everything about the sport, and that adheres to every other subject, you know. Like, the second somebody learns about archaeology or whatever, I don't know, something about bones, they learn something about, I don't know, like, someone like learns about being a doctor, and they like specifically hone in on the brain, and they're like, oh, I want to be a neurologist, and they just want to know everything about the brain, and it just clicks. Like, everything they think about is a brain. Everything they just, not everything they think about, but they become really passionate about the thing that they want to do. And for me personally, I don't really care about the brain, other than the fact that it's, you know, a little fucked every now and then, but I can't really do anything to fix that. I'm not really God. I wish I was, so I can just, you know, just reach in there and just kind of mix things around to see if anything, if there's like any wires crossed. But, you know, that's only me, right? But for me, that's what graphic design is. And in the future, that could change. That could easily change. Next thing you know, I'm like, maybe even next year, I'm going to be like, okay, you guys know what? I am going to pack my shit and move to Antarctica and live with donkeys. You know, like, anything in your life can change, but if in the now you are doing what you feel is right, then that's okay. That's good. That's all good, dude. And that applies to high school as well. If you are in high school and you're just feeling like you're not doing your best, but at the same time you're I don't know how to explain. Like, it feels like you could be doing more. You don't have to do more. Why do you have to do more? Like, why do you feel the need to do more? That's what I'm asking, okay? Like, oh, like, you're in high school right now, and you're like, oh, I want more friends. Let's think about that. Why do you want more friends? Like, what is that? How does that benefit you? Like, why do you want more friends? Like, are you not happy with the friends you have now? What are you not happy about? Like, you have to question why you want more from something. Because if you don't question why you want more, then you're just going to consume to the point where it burns you out. Because for me, that's how I felt. I was like, oh, like, I want more friends, but what did that bring me? Nothing. Because at the end of the day, there's only so much human connection you can make before it burns you out. For me personally, if I have more than like 5 people in my life that are quote unquote close to me, it burns me out, because I just feel so pressure. Like, I have to delegate my time, and I have to remember things about them, and I have to, you know, remember birthdays. And that's difficult for someone like me, and probably for a lot of people as well, to remember these small, minute, but really, you know, personal details about people that you care about. And so it would hurt me to like not remember my friend's birthday. It would hurt me to not be able to afford a friend's birthday because I would spend more money on another friend. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, why do you want more friends? Like, you have to really think about why you want more friends. Because I know that, like, when you're in high school, it always feels like you're alone. You know, like, you're alone. You don't have anybody caring for you. You don't have anybody out there for you. And it feels like nobody understands like what you're going through. But think about it, bro. How many people have gone through high school? How many people have made it through the trenches? How many people have done this and that? I'm not trying to compare your experiences with other people, because it's obvious that, you know, I didn't go through like fucking, I don't know, 4 years of ass whoopings. I didn't go through 4 years of constantly, you know, taking tutoring classes and this and that, because different cultures have different expectations on their students. But I think that you just have to be kinder to yourself. I don't know how else to explain it, but I think you have to be a lot more kinder to yourself, as if you want to live in a world where you're able to actually be content. You don't have to be happy, you don't have to be sad, you don't have to feel guilty, you don't have to feel stressed, you don't have to feel any of that. You can just feel content. You can feel content with the fact that, you know, you're alive, your body's pumping water or blood or whatever the fuck it is. You know, you're able to stand upright, and if you aren't, then you're able to at least, you know, have eyes, and if you don't have that, at least you have this and that. Okay, like, I don't want to say like count things that you I don't want to say count blessings, because I feel like that's not the phrase I want to use, but like just essentially be aware of what you have, and be aware that those things that you have can easily be taken away from you, you know? So imagine that you are a fucking loner in high school, right? You're a loner. I'm switching topics, by the way. You're a loner in high school, and I feel like a lot of people who probably consume like content like this, like really long-winded content where someone just speaking to the camera with no rhyme or reason, probably doesn't have a lot of friends, because who has the fucking time to sit here and watch through all of this? Okay, and so that's a self-diss, because, you know, but I'm assuming that most of the people who are watching this probably don't really have that big of a friend group, or really probably has like one or two like friends, but not like close friends, or like just, you know, one best friend, you know, or something like that. Not even best friends. Like maybe they don't even have friends. They have acquaintances. And that's what I had. I had acquaintances, and I did have a best friend, but you know me, I have this problem where I get too attached, and then I become disgusted by the person. I become annoyed at them, and then I leave them, and then I come back, and then they accept me because they think I'm normal again. No, I'm kidding, but you know. But for me, I kind of always had acquaintances, but I never really felt connected to anybody. I didn't really tell anybody any of my secrets. I didn't tell them about, you know, my parents. I didn't tell them about, you know, my history and stuff like that. Like I did, but I didn't tell them in depth, because deaf, DEPTH, in deaf, whatever. I didn't tell them like anything too deeply, because I felt like I didn't need to. And that is not because, you know, I didn't trust them. It's just because I didn't feel the need to. I like cracking jokes. I like making new memories. I like, you know, fucking going out and taking walks to random department stores. I like, you know, making memories with my friends by, you know, dicking around on the internet. And I like doing all that, but I don't really like talking too much about the personal stuff. And I think that's probably why I don't have a lot of close relationships. And that's why I don't have a lot of people coming to me about relationship issues or this and that, because I know myself as a person, and I'm not able to give that, emotional support. I can't do that. And so I don't pretend like I do, because that's manipulative, A, and two, that's just deceitful, man. I'm not able to do what, you know, emotional support dogs do. And so I know that as a person, and so I let that be known. I make it well aware, like I make my fellow beings well aware that I'm not really there for moral support. And I feel like you can probably tell just by, you know, me talking, that I'm not someone that you would want to sit and talk about, you know, traumatic experiences with, because what the fuck, like, it's not like I'm judging you, because I'm not someone who judges, but at the same time, I'm not really able to say anything that would really rectify the situation or really make the situation any better, you know? I'll just be like, okay, cool, like, what do you want me to do about that? In the most gentlest, kindest way, okay? In the most gentlest, kindest way, like, okay, cool, what do you want me to do with this information? Do you want me to just keep it? Do you want me to not say anything about it? What do you want me to do with this information? Like, in the most genuine way, like, do you want me to say something back to you to make you feel better? Do you want me to stay quiet so you can just, you know, say it out loud? Like, what do you want me to do with it? Honestly. And so that's why I don't really like have a lot of not acquaintances. I don't really have like best friends. I have people who I'm close with, but I don't have anyone where I run to and tell everything to, because I don't feel the need to do that, because I don't know. This is how I'm wired, but I know a lot of people, you know, have that one person in their life where they tell and like the most mundane shit to. And I think that's great for them, but for me, I don't really feel the need to do that. And I feel a lot of like, I feel stressed when I have to, you know, constantly text someone, or where I have to like constantly update what I'm doing, because I'm not really doing much most of the time. I'm just, you know, baking, sleeping, going on social media and dicking around, you know, occasionally, I don't know, doing jumping jacks, and occasionally, I don't know, leaving my house and doing, you know, fuck shit. But most of the time, I'm just doing me. And so I don't really feel the need to update people unless they ask. They'll be like, okay, what are you doing today? Which is not normal. And so don't do that to me. If you're asking me what I'm doing in a random day, I'm suspecting you want something from me, because why the fuck are you coming to me? And that's just how I am as a person, and that's how my friends treat me, and I like that. I personally really like the fact that they can come to me if they need me, but like if they don't need me, then they don't need me. I don't want people to become codependent on me, because I'm not someone who is reliable. And I don't know. I think that's okay. I don't really want to be a reliable person, because do you know how many reliable people there are in this world? There's doctors, there's nurses, there's policemen, police women, there's fucking firefighters. There's all these dependable people in the world, and you want to come to me? Like, be so fucking for real, okay? And so I feel like I don't like owe anybody the whatever the fuck to be dependable, because I'm just doing me, And if they want to come to me and talk to me about the problems, I'm not going to be like, man, fuck you. Because I'm not disrespectful. Just because I'm not dependable doesn't mean I'm disrespectful. It just means I'm flaky. I mean, like, shit, like, if you need me, I'll be there when I be there, okay? Not actually, but, like, if my friend texts me, like, hey, like, we need to talk or whatever, I'll be like, okay, what's up? Like, right away. But if they're just like, Quinn, and I'm just like, and they don't say anything afterwards, I'm just like, if they just say my name, and then don't say anything afterwards, I assume it's not urgent. Because if it's urgent, you would say it right after you say my name. Because all my friends do this. They just type Quinn and just leave it as is, expecting me to reply when they damn well know that I need that. So they've learned. Okay, they'll just be like, Quinn, do you want to do this and that? And I'm like, a couple hours later, I'm like, okay. And that's it, okay? But if you're just going to text my name and say nothing else, you're not getting anything back from me. Because I'll assume it's not urgent. I'll assume it's not important. And I'll go about my day, okay? But I'm not a heartless person where, like, if someone comes to me, it's like, Quinn, I need to talk to you. Like, I really need a heart to heart. I'm not gonna be like, man, fuck you. I got better things to do. I'll just sit down and be like, okay, what's up, dude? Like, what do you want to talk about? And like I said, I like gossip. I like whatever the fuck. And so I'm always, talking to somebody. Not talking to somebody. I'm always talking to myself, because I like that. But if someone wants to talk to me, I'm not gonna say no, because I'm bored. I'm bored, and I want somebody to entertain me. And if the entertainment happens to be their trauma, then I mean, oops. And when I mean entertainment, it just keeps me busy. It keeps me engaged. It keeps me, whatever the fuck it is, right? I don't mean engagement as like I'm enjoying it. It's just engagement. I'm engaged. I'm watching, whatever the fuck, right? And where was I going with that? I feel like it just became like a personal rant. But anyways, let me get back to the topic of like high school and whatever the fuck, right? So I'm just saying, like, you don't need to have all of these things in high school. You don't need to, go to prom. You don't need to do all of that, because maybe I shouldn't be giving you this advice, because I'm not sure if I'm like a normal person to be giving this advice. But for me personally, I don't regret not going to prom, because I would have not enjoyed it anyways. I'm not someone who enjoys dances. I'm not someone who enjoys, I like dressing up. I like the dressing up part of it. I like the picture part. I like taking pictures. I like being with my friends. But going to the actual dance itself, not my favorite, because I don't really like anybody enough to, fucking bump my hoonie on them. And so, yeah. But I do like it when I'm with my friends and we're just kind of jamming out and just, in our party clothes and just, fucking digging around and stuff like that. I like doing that. And so for me, missing prom wasn't too big of a deal, because I was just like, okay, whatever. And I still don't think about it. I'm like, okay, are there days where I'm like, man, I wish I went to prom? No. Oh my god, I wish I was lying to you guys right now. Like, I don't regret going to prom, but I honest to God don't regret going to prom, and I don't regret not going to my graduation either. I didn't go to my high school graduation. I didn't go to prom. I don't really care about those things, and that's just because I just don't care. Like if I went there, I would be bored as a motherfucker, and so I just didn't go, because if I'm bored, what the fuck am I doing there? And so I mean, I went to my college graduation because I need my diploma. And I was able to get away with it in high school because it was COVID, and so I was able to get away. But like now in college, I mean, I gotta strap up, got to put on my big girl pants and get on that stage. Okay, and I did it, and I was, it was a good day. I went to get Olive Garden afterwards, and it was a pretty good day. I liked it. I got a little tipsy on like the mimosa or whatever, and I had a good time. And I had fun there, but as for like high school, I don't really put that much pressure. Like if you're in your room right now thinking about, oh, like next year is prom, I don't have anybody to go with, then find somebody. It's like, oh, I want to go with a group of friends. Then find a group of friends. And that's honest to God, like easier said than done. But like, if you want something, then fucking do it. I don't know. Like, I feel like if you want to do something, then just do. But that might be my Aries personality coming out, because if I want something, I just do it. Like, I have impulse. I feel like I have an impulse control, but at the same time, I'm able to rationalize like, I'm able to control it in a way that's reasonable. Like, I'm not, blowing hundreds of dollars down the fucking drain at casino. I'm not fucking, fucking shooting up. I'm not doing any of that. I'm fairly rational with my choices, but at the same time, I do a lot of like really impulse things. Like I said, I went to college on an impulse. I just applied for college on an impulse. Like, I knew I wanted to go to college, but I kind of held it off because I was like, I don't know. But then one day I was just like in my room, and I was just like, I think I was just like watching, like, I don't know, Minecraft videos, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should go to college. I applied and I got accepted, and I was like, okay, cool. And then, I realized that I wanted to do graphic design, and it was an impulse thing too. I didn't really think about it too much. My mom was just like, you want to do it? I'm like, maybe. And then, next day I was like, okay, I'll do it. I didn't really put much thought into it other than that. Like, well, if I submit my application and if I get accepted, maybe I'll do it. And then I got accepted, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. Like, I didn't think twice about, leaving CLA and going to graphic design, because I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I got accepted. Might as well just fucking do it since I got accepted. And I did it, and I'm pretty content. I'm pretty happy with it, yeah. And so I feel like that applies with other things as well, like, if you, where's I going with that? Hold on. I was content with it. Oh yeah, just have like good impulse control. Like, if you want to go to prom and you want to find somebody, then you will find somebody. There's always somebody out there, and like high school is a pretty big place. Unless you like go to like a high school where there's only like 50 kids, then just go by yourself, or just dress up, take pictures, and that's all I gotta do. You don't have to go to the actual dance, because who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? Like, maybe, like, I don't know, 50 people in your fucking high school is gonna remember that you like bought a dress and you took pictures instead of going to prom. But that's 50 people out of how many fucking people? So just enjoy your time. Like, if the dressing up part is the best part for you, then do that. If you just want to give the dance by yourself and just, jam out in the corner being a little weirdo, then do that. Who gives a fuck? Because no one's going to remember that. Like, I don't remember what the weird girl at our school is doing. I don't remember I don't know what the popular girl in our school is doing. I don't know what the popular kids in my school are doing, because I don't give a fuck about what they're doing, because I'm doing me. And so if you just do you, then that don't matter what the rest of the motherfuckers are doing, right? And so I don't, unless you're doing weird shit. If you're diddling kids, or like if you're, I don't know, like a senior dating a freshman, you're weird. Okay, I'll remember that. But if you're just doing you, like if you're just, wearing cat ears to the fucking dance in your little fursuit, man, I don't give a fuck about what you're doing. Like, I might giggle because I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. But it's funny. Like, that the act of being a furry is a little humorous in a way. Like, it's a little outrageous. And so laugh at yourself, have fun, go to the dance in your fucking fursuit, sweat your balls off. I don't give a fuck. Like, what's it got to do with me? You want to dress up as, I don't know, Naruto? You want to dress up as Sasuke and go to your fucking prom? Do it, bro. Like, if you want to go to school, fucking, I don't know, dress up as like an e-girl, who gives a fuck? Do what you gotta do, bro. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, you guys are so self-involved with yourself to the point where it just becomes obnoxious. And I mean that sincerely. Like, you have to just be you, bro. Like, you care so much about what other people think, but like, you have to think about the big picture, because I feel like your brains are so small, right? I'm talking to you teenagers right now. Your brains are so fucking small right now that you can't see the bigger picture. You can't see what's beyond high school, and that's because you're fucking paralyzed by fear. And why are you like, girl, just throw water on it and call it a fucking day. You don't need to fucking paralyze shit. Just throw water on it, let the fire go out, and you can think more deeply. Think more deeply. Okay? If the only thing you need to take from this fucking video is see the bigger picture. See the bigger picture. See the bigger picture. Because, like I said, I don't remember what anybody in my school did. I mean, there might be some drama that I might remember, like, oh, maybe somebody had a weird nickname. But that's because it's like, it's funny to me, like, some people remember things more than I do. Maybe people remember me being a fucking freak weirdo, which you are not allowed to say that in my comments, okay? If I was a freak weirdo, don't say that. But actually, I'll admit something. When I was in elementary school, apparently I was super weird. I transferred over to a new elementary school in 5th grade, and so I didn't know anybody, and so I was, that fucking weirdo. And there were some people that I'll be honest with you, I'm just saying this based off of the experiences that were told to me by my peers, but I genuinely do not remember much from my 5th grade except being mute for the first 2 weeks. Like, I did not talk to anybody for 2 weeks, and I remember that vividly. I remember it was like a goal of mine to like try to see if I can get away with not speaking for 2 weeks, and I was able to do that. But then, I had to at least say something, and then I did. Yeah. And so that was the only thing I remember. But from a recollection of my peer, right? Because this was like, I considered her to be one of the more kind of popular girls, because she was blonde, she was pretty, whatever the fuck, right? And so, and then as time went on, we became friends in like junior high or high school or something like that. And she was like, Quinn, can I tell you something? I'm like, okay. She was like, when you first came to 5th grade, I tried to make friends with you. I tried to be friends with you, but like every time I did, you would just like yell black magic at me and run away. Or like you would hiss at me or meow at me and run away. And I'll be honest with you, I don't remember any of that. I'll be so frank with you, I don't remember any of that. And so I would like to think that she was making that up. But no, JK, maybe I did. I feel like that's something I would do. I still like meow every now and then just because I think it's funny. I do a lot of things because I think it's funny. I do things because I think it's funny, because I'm bored, and there's another thing, because out of spite. But most of the time, I'm not meowing because I hate somebody. It's just because I think it's funny. So there's a few things about me that you should know. I do things because I think it's funny. I do things because I'm bored, and I do things because it's out of spite. I don't know what that says about me, but But anyways, back to the topic, right? Oh, and that correlates to the topic I was talking about. Like, did you just hear the trend of that story? There was a girl that I did not want to be friends with, and I thought was like higher than me, like higher in the hierarchy, because I don't know how elementary school works. But I genuinely thought of myself as a loser in 5th grade, and then as I transitioned into high school, I became friends with this girl that I thought was better than me, which isn't true, because we're all, whatever the fuck. Like, just because I don't have blonde hair and a big butt, just kidding. I'm joking. I don't remember if she has a big butt or not. That's weird, okay? I don't remember. But, like, I didn't have all these traits I perceived as popular. And so, even then, I was still able to communicate with my peer. Not communicate. I still was able to become friends with this person that I perceived to be better than me. And so it's like, at the end of the day, it don't fucking matter. Like, like popularity like wanes and whatever the fuck. And like, you can be popular one day, but another day, you get like, all you gotta do is be true to yourself, man. The reason why I probably don't remember meowing to these people is probably because I was being true to myself. If I was faking something, I would remember. Like, I feel like what did I fake? I remember the times I cheated on like tests and stuff because I was faking it, but like I don't remember the times where I actually genuinely took there's a few times where I took a math test and I started crying, but that was because I started crying, okay? Because usually crying for me doesn't happen on math tests. It happens when I'm like listening to Vocaloid, and so that's something. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that you guys box yourself in too much. You teenagers box yourself in too much to the point where you're scared to go beyond the box. You're scared to go beyond the fucking electric fence because you're scared you're gonna get shocked. But who the fuck says that electric fence is on? Who the fuck says it's gonna hurt you? All you gotta do is be what you gotta do. Like, I don't even know how to like phrase this. Like, all you gotta do is be what you are, And that sounds like so much easier than it is, but like, I'm not saying I was someone who, was true to myself all the time in high school. I obviously was playing a part, because who isn't? Who isn't out here fucking playing a part? I'm playing a part right now. I'm pretending to be someone who's really cool. Just kidding. But, I feel like every single day people wake up and they know, they feel as if they have to play a part. Someone wakes up and they know they have to play a role as a CEO because that's what they are. Someone wakes up and they know they have to be a teacher because that's what they are, and something like that, And so a lot of us will kind of fall into that role, but at the same time, it's also really important to remember that those roles don't define us as people. Teachers can, be strippers at the end of the I'm being so funny right now, but like teachers can have hobbies outside of teaching. People, like, we are not a monolith of people, and so as teenagers, you don't have to be the cool kid that only hangs out with cool kids. You can be the cool kid that hangs out with losers too, because they're funny, they're cool to hang with. You can be a loser that, I don't know, does lacrosse. I don't fucking know. Like, you can be whatever the fuck you want to be. Like, you can be a little furry kid that's dating a popular kid because you want to be. Like, who cares? Who cares? Like, oh, someone's gonna post a fucking Snapchat about you fucking, having a makeout session with a local loser in the hallways. You gotta ask yourself, why the fuck is that person being so invasive to you? Like, why the fuck does that person care so much about your business that they gotta blast it? You gotta think about that. Like, why are you internalizing their hatred? Because if someone was taking a picture of me and flaming me on the internet, I would think there's something wrong with them. Because why the fuck you gotta get up in my business like that? And why the fuck do you feel the need to that hatred, you know, like, oh my god, I hate you so much. I have to take a picture of you, and then I have to write a caption that I hate you so much, and then I have to post it to all of my friends, and then I have to like go through all of the people and I have to respond to all the comments about people that also hate you. Like, get a life, bro. You guys are so boring. Like, boring. Like, you are mad that you can't get bitches. You are mad that you can't get the same bitches that I can. You are mad that I'm getting tail, I'm getting cooch, I'm getting bussy, and you are not. And you're mad that I'm getting weird bussy too. You're mad I'm getting bussy on the low. Oh my god. Like, you're mad. You're mad. So that's how I feel like you should be taking this. Okay? Flip it on. Let's just flip it. Just flip it and reverse it. Okay? If someone is bullying you, you gotta think about why the fuck they're doing that. And I don't mean that, but like, oh, they have a bad home, this and that. No, it's because they're fucking bitter. The fuck? If someone on their fucking Snapchat story or on their, I don't know what kids are using nowadays. If someone's bullying you on TikTok, recording you and fucking posting you like, oh, like, look at this loser, like with headphones on watching anime in class or so, I don't know. I feel like anime is really popular. I can't think of something that's like super unpopular with the kids nowadays. Like, I don't know, like having a trap phone or having like a, you know, a shitty phone. Like, what? Let's think about that. Like, why the fuck do you think those people putting you on blast feel the need to do that? You don't even have to be a fucking like an engineer to figure this shit out. You don't have to be a chemist. You don't have to be fucking Einstein. You don't have to even be Hitler to figure this shit out. Okay, you could easily figure out why these people are being so bitter, being so like hateful, whatever the fuck. It's because they're fucking weird. They're weird. They're the weird ones. Okay, and so. That is what you have to take from this video. Honest to God, like, if you are being bold, look at me being like Dare. If you guys remember what Dare is, I don't remember what it is. Oh no, I think that's a drug program. What's the one where it's like, no, it's like stop bullying? I feel like there was a whatchamacallit for that, but I can't remember what it's called. Okay, if I can't remember what it's called, then I don't remember what it's called. But essentially, what I'm trying to get at is that, like, if you're being bullied out there, you're stronger than that. You're stronger than that. Like, you're so much stronger than that. Like, you're such a girl boss. You're so strong, King. Like, stand up, short King. No, who gives a fuck, man? Like, if you're being bullied, man, like, let that shit roll off your back. Like, what's it got to do with you? They're just mad that you're living life and they're not. You know, like, if someone has the time of day to hate on you in that regard, then they're boring. They have nothing better to do. And for me, if I'm bored, I'm just cocking around, bro. I'm cocking, I'm digging around. Like, people who are able to be bored and find joy in that boredom by, you know, I don't know, fucking doing hobbies that are fun for them. I don't know, like, so be it. Like, okay, so a fucking weird kid likes to, I don't know, lick floors for a living. What's it got to do with you? Honest to God. We just got to be a little bit less judgmental nowadays. Like, if you know, if a popular kid, like, walks like he got a butt up his fucking... like, if a popular kid is walking around with a fucking, like, stick up his butt, I don't give a fuck. What's it got to do with me, you know? Or, like, if someone slept with this one, or someone slept with this one, or blah, 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 blah. And let me just say, man, high school relationships... And I mean that. I mean that by the bottom of my heart, because 9 out of 10, there's some golden retrievers out there, but 9 out of fucking 10, them shits are not titanium steel. They will not last you for eternity. Those things are aluminum foil. They look sturdy, but the second you just do a little, it's over. It's over, fellas. And so I would recommend just, you know, having fun while you can. You know, if you're, you know, a street whore in high school, I don't know. If you just want to be a bop. Oh, now I know that's a word that them kids are using nowadays. I don't know what a bop is, but I feel like a bop is just another word for street whore. And so if you are a bop and you want to be a bop, what's it got to do with me? I don't have kids. I don't intend on having kids. I don't condone teenagers, butt fucking or whatever the fuck they do. But, well, maybe I don't know. I feel like they probably should get their, whatever the fuck out before they got it, but, like, within their age group, But if kids are doing whatever the fuck they gotta do, then, like, what's it gotta do with me, for real? If it's your kid that you don't want to be, doing all that shit with, no. Let me rephrase that. If it's your kid and you don't want them doing all that business with another kid, then that's your kid. I don't give a fuck. But, like, if you're a kid and, your parents don't give a fuck about you and you just want to go, slapping your fucking Arby's sandwich around, man, what they gotta do with me? What does that gotta do with me? I'm so serious. If you want to go, like, slinging your fucking Frank's hot dog around, I don't care. As long as you're not popping out babies, as long as you're not, I don't know, getting fucking, herpes sores all over my Starbucks drink, as long as you're not getting, I don't know, wet dookie farts in public when I'm standing behind you in line, I don't care. I don't care. But you know what I do care about? Them fucking boys, those, like, high school age boys that, like, bounce balls in, like, grocery stores. That's what I do care about. Those motherfuckers are an epidemic, and I feel like they should be eradicated from the society. Because why the fuck are you playing around with balls that you didn't pay for? I feel like in this capitalist society, you should be paying for those balls before you touch them. But that's my opinion. If you're playing with balls, I feel like you just have to pay for them. But that's just my opinion. I'm not going to stand on business with them because there's really nothing to stand on. They're just balls. But I feel like they really do have to be eradicated. And if you're a teenage boy that like playing with balls in a Target, I suggest picking up another hobby. Maybe like hopscotch. What is that word? Hopscotch? Hop? I'm having a stroke. Hopscotch. Is that a right word? I feel like I'm saying, like, a foreign word right now. Hopscotch. The thing where you do boop, 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 boop. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Maybe pick up hopscotch, or maybe pick up, like, jump roping, hula hooping, potato in a sack. What's that thing called? Like a sack race? Tug of war. The basics. Pick up a hobby like that. I hear those things are really fun. I don't know if they do it nowadays. I'm a little old, but I feel like those are really fun. Oh, or maybe join, like, Boy Scouts. I hear Boy Scouts are really fun. Or, learn how to do a backflip. Learn how to do kickflips. Not in the Target aisle, but, outside of the Target. I don't mind that. I don't mind when kids are just, doing kickflips outside of the Target, because where else are they going to be? They got to conjugate with a red dot is, and they love the red dot. And so I don't mind if they, do a few kickflips and, fucking butt fuck each other. No. I'm joking. Okay? I don't care what they do outside of the Target, but as long as they're not in the aisle playing around with balls in front of me, I'm straight. I'm good. So yeah, I think that's all I gotta say on that, because I feel like this video is getting super long, and I don't even know, like, why I started talking. It was just a stream of consciousness. So if you made it this far, take your ADHD meds, because yeah. Well, I don't have ADHD meds, so I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna take off my contacts because I just realized they're still in, and I felt them when I was moving my eyes around, and I don't know. It feels weird. And so, yeah. Let me know if you're in high school, if you have any worries and concerns. Maybe I'll help you. Maybe I won't. Who knows? And like I said, my experience in high school is not universal by any means. It's definitely irregular, but I feel like I was able to get out of high school without any regrets. And so that's the best thing you could do. Get out of high school without regretting anything, and I don't regret anything other than being in high school, because that was a choice that I was forced to make. And so, yes, if you are a high schooler, if you are a high schooler and if you are going into high school, I would recommend you to, first of all, go outside and touch grass. Okay? Go outside and touch grass. Maybe, like, go ask your mom how her day's doing, or maybe ask your dad if he needs the lawn mowed. Just, talk to a trusted adult before you come commenting on my channel, because I do feel like you need consent before you talk to me. And so, first of all, yes, get your parents' consent. I need that shit notarized before you come to me. And then if you have any questions about the high school, just kidding. If you have any questions about high school, as in Oh my god, how do I get through coursework? How do I get my first girlfriend? How do I blah, 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 blah. I might answer them if they concern me, if I care. And if you made it this far, might as well just leave a fucking question, regardless of like, oh, what's like, how do you think I should get through the line in the cafeteria, or like, oh, what kind of shoes should I buy for high school? Some dumb shit like that. I probably won't answer, but it's it's good. It's good for the engagement, as the millennials say. And so yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. And if you're out of high school, maybe leave some words of wisdom out down there for the little kiddos. And when I mean little kiddos, at least over the age of 11. No, 12. Because that's when we get into the teens. I at least want teens in the comments. I don't want 11. I don't want 12. And if you're 11 or 12, get the fuck out. I'm so serious. Get the fuck out. If you can't tell me what this movie is, if you can't tell me what this guy is, if you can't tell me what the fuck these things are, then get the fuck out. Because you are not. Yeah. I don't even know if people in 05 or 06 even know what this shit is. Because I didn't know what that shit is, and I'm 03, and I like found it out like recently. So maybe I'm being judgmental. But what's new? What's new? It's not really new. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. Hopefully this video wasn't too unhinged, but I feel like I definitely said some things that are probably make me seem like a sociopath or something. But like, I just like to have fun, and I get bored, and I'm a hateful person deep down in my heart. And so what about it? But at least I'm not out here posting Snapchats about how dumb my friends are, or how dumb I think the world is, or how dumb I think my feet look. And so maybe I should do that, actually, because then it'll bring me more fulfillment in life. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. But anyways, that's all I gotta say on that. I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully. And if I'm not, then I'm dead. Hopefully it doesn't happen though. So yeah. All right, that's all I gotta say for now. All right. Have a good night, day, whatever the fuck. All right, kisses.